Coney 2012, he must be stopped.
Her breasts were warm and full. He saw the faintest trace of a smile on her face as he cupped them. Hello and welcome to the Grand Canterlot Cavalcade in color, all the rest of that shit that Lucky's about to be pissed off at me for not saying.
Mad, rage, mad, rage.
You have to say it.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it's called. A Gentle Colts podcast for sophisticated bronies, yada yada. Episode 7. I am Deathmech, your number 1 co-host, and who's the number 2 co-host? That'd be
me.
Yeah.
I am in bullshit, your number 2 co-host.
And then our special guest, who's been on our special guest who just happens to be on for every episode. He's special because he's special.
Hi, I'm King Cheetah. I am Lucky, and I'm the resident Algerian. Fuck.
Yeah. And our actual special guest.
I'm Chef Sandy.
Welcome, Chef Sandy. I'm glad we were able to pull you with Whataburger for an hour.
Well, the Hasbro money is coming in pretty sweet, so
yeah.
Got the 8-piece chicken finger basket this time.
You have
the 8-piece and the Whataburger. You're living up fancy now. Okay.
Okay. All right. Really, let's be honest.
I'm King Cheetah.
Awesome. We got that guy. We got that guy who draws the anthros.
Or something.
Cool. Yeah, something like that. The anthro ponies. What the fuck are you going on about, Lucky?
Nothing.
You like acting all stalkerish, dude. Stop it.
That is the joke. Whenever an artist is mentioned in previous episodes, I go stalker mode, and then an artist is actually in here, and then it's... You know, never mind. Let's just continue.
Hey, Lucky, tell him you want him to empty himself inside your anus.
Hey, King Cheetah, can you, empty yourself inside of my anus, please?
No, you see, that would be funny if I didn't hear that 9 or 10 times at Furry Fiesta. That's just another face in the crowd.
Oh, boy.
Really, no. I'm not impressed.
Alright, well, it's time we pull something out of this. I guess we'll just head straight into metal shit really quick.
Shit.
Yeah, the metal shit. Yeah, we do a live stream before each show. Lucky did one where he drew some shit for some guy. So, yeah. We don't talk a whole lot, mostly because Lucky's drawing and he gets angry if we talk. Or he'll start talking and then we start yelling at him.
Is he drawing at a golf course? Not allowed to talk when he draws?
Well, basically the way it works is that whenever...
Guys!
Shut up! Basically what it is whenever we're together, we just hurl massive amounts of abuse towards Lucky. Because he's Canadian. He's designed to take it, so...
Yeah. All we're engineered to do is say sorry and that's okay.
Yeah, you're you're the beta version of Japan. So.
Ah.
Oh, stereotypes.
I gotta remember that later.
Oh, stereotypes. And the other thing is episode 6, which will be known as the Forever Lost episode. Basically, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
what happened was we looked into it and then looked back at us and we said never again. Nobody else must see this or hear this. Very Lovecraftian episode.
We talked about the meaning of life and stuff like the ultimate answer, and then we kind of
we basically just gazed into Azathoth and saw the center of all infinity and went insane. And then
and then one day, that's the episode where we got in. Dun, 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 dun. We got
no. Basically
entered the grid.
No, basically what happened was that we upload. Lucky and I upload our audio to Dropbox like smart people, and then bullshit deleted his audio with the Bronieville raw audio. So. With the Bronieville podcast raw audio. So the reason there's no episode 6 is because of him bullshit. So hurl all your hate towards him if you already haven't done that.
All I have to say about that is, whoops. I just don't know what went wrong.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on to cool shit. And bullshit, did you want to start off?
I'll start this off this week. My first item of cool shit this week is the 30-minute music challenge. It's a new Tumblr that just went up that's gotten some pretty big Brony musicians involved in it, including Living Tombstone and Jackalap. It runs just like the 30-minute hentai or 30-minute art challenge. They announce a topic or a theme or a challenge, and you have 30 minutes to write a piece of music for it. And it's shaping up to be pretty cool. They've had 2 short little contests thus far, and I just got added to their Skype group. It's a bunch of really cool people. So definitely check out that, and I linked it in the show notes.
Okay, and one of the cool things I'm bringing is one I'm recycling from episode 6. It's another podcast called the Rowdy Rough Bronies. And the main reason I wanted to plug it last week was because they had Conchita on, but since he's on our show this week, it's like why should I bother plugging them? But no, I'm gonna plug them anyway because they're a really cool podcast, really interesting bunch of bronies from Texas. That does not include Chef Sandy all the time. So yeah, check those guys out.
Are they in Hasbro's pocket too?
Oh, every podcaster is in Hasbro's pocket. That's why we never talk shit about them.
Oh, okay.
And Lucky, you have something very special you want to show us. You were fucking foaming at the mouth when you weren't able to talk about it.
He was chomping at the bit.
I can't remember. Did we talk about? Did I talk about this last episode?
No, you didn't. Nope. This is something that you brought back from the lost episode, and
yeah, that's what
I figured since you were so eager to talk about it because you love it so much, we might as well let you talk about it here. So do tell us, Lucky, what is this amazing thing that you've found?
Yeah, this incredible Tumblr,
just
that
awesome.
Everybody needs to see.
And it's his favorite Tumblr.
Yes.
Well.
If he were to post a Tumblr crush, this would be his number one. It would be like at 47% or something, 40% of his reblogs.
Just
and likes.
all the likes, every like
is from this Tumblr.
Okay, so this Tumblr it's called Pony Tumblr. Like shit, I can't get enough of it. It's amazing. The end. Thanks.
Just golden streams.
In no way, shape, or form do I endorse this Tumblr. I've been forced.
Yeah, you do.
It's police. I feel like I'm on one of those
Ben, are we holding a gun to his head?
No.
I feel like I'm in one of those television broadcasts where they hold like a diplomat on TV with a gun to their head and tell them to read something.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like now. Having to read this.
Well, see, that's what happens when you don't bring anything. That's what happens when you're lucky and you don't bring anything.
I draw things.
That means that Deathmech and Ben provide shit for you, and we make sure to provide you with something that will make you reconsider whether or not you bring something.
How about next time you actually do that instead of making me talk about something mildly, oh well. That's a challenge.
Fine, you know what? Next time we'll have you cover the Tara Strong sex tape.
Yes! I didn't know there was a Tara Strong sex tape.
All right, how about that? All right. On to the next one. My next one is, I think it's the first clean fan fiction we've talked about on this show. It's entitled The Games We Play, and it's a bit of a shippy sort of thing. It's really good, though. I read it a while back, and I got really into it. It's really long. It's like 22, 25 chapters long, and it's about Rainbow Dash one day sees the mysterious Ne'er-do-well, and she thinks it's one of her friends making fun of her again, and tries to figure out who it is, and all of her friends deny that it's them, and she can't figure out who it is, and one day she's confronted by mysterious Ne'er-do-well who tells her that she's in love with her, and begins this game of cat and mouse, of Rainbow Dash trying to figure out which one of her friends is dressing up like Ne'er-do-well and is in love with her, and Ne'er-do-well trying to make her fall for her. It's a very interesting story. Kept me guessing all the way to the end, but maybe that's just because I'm a dumb musician. So I definitely suggest you check that out, and link is in the show notes. MDefMech.
Let's see. What do I have? This is a Tumblr I found a little while ago. I'm pretty certain it's made by the same guy who does Ass Drunk Celestia, as it's a very similar art style. But this one's called the Bodybuilding Main Six, and it's the main six. So far, it's just it was mostly Rarity, and then he just introduced Twilight and Rainbow Dash, and they're bodybuilders. They're brawly the fuck up.
It's
fucking
hot.
Yeah, it's fucking Rarity is so fucking swole. She's so fucking swole. And that's all I can say about Rarity. And Twilight was just introduced, and she looks a lot like the one dude from Gurren Lagann, the Gurren Lagann anime, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen. And Rainbow Dash looks like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Savage, yeah!
I found it through it being reblogged towards me, and a lot of people initially were really kind of put off by it because, yes, it was Rarity, and she had fucking pecs and a six-pack, and so people were really put off by it. That's what I got for Bodybuilding Main Six. So, what do you got, Ben?
My next cool thing for this week is the Ask Isla and Friends Tumblr. Ask Isla and Friends is a Tumblr about 3 OCs, Night Owl and Isla and Star Swirl. Although it's not Star Swirl the beard, it's just Star Swirl is the name. And it's a pretty run of the middle of the road cute blog, but the art style is really, really shiny, and I really like it a lot. I think it's adorable. It's just started out. It's fairly new. It's pretty funny, and I definitely suggest you check it out. Always good to pimp those newer Tumblrs that need some love.
Yeah, and I was initially about to say this looks pretty work safe. I scroll down to one of the brushy pictures, and it's not work safe, but it's kind of close. Yeah, it's actually really good because the one thing I've noticed is that with a lot of ass Tumblrs is like, in order to gain popularity, they'll just immediately go to drawing Rule 34. And I don't mind that doing it. If they want to become popular that way, that's totally cool. But it's always nice to see Tumblr try more creative ways to gain a following.
Yeah, it's a good Tumblr.
Yeah. So I always appreciate that. I mean, yeah. Okay. I guess that brings it back to me. And I have another fanfic I want to talk about. However, unlike what Ben plugged, it's very cloppy. And this was I actually found this through, I think it was either EC Major or Yog7 reblogging it. And it's a fanfic, a clopfic called Animal Husbandry by Standard Namespace. And just a really quick Cliff Notes is about a human farmer who runs a farm with 12 Twilight Sparkles who need to be milked every day, and when they go in the heat, he has to fuck them. So yeah, you can say it's a POV. It's a pretty glorious...
glorious. It's a good word.
A pretty glorious clot fic. Mostly I love the part where the number 6 Twilight Sparkle is talking about wanting to become a day trader while being milked.
Just so goofy.
Yeah, and
yeah, I read this and it's really funny and it's a lot of fun.
yeah, it's one of those. It's just I don't know what else to say. It's wonderful. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just really good. really fun to read. That's all I have to say about it. So, you got one more thing, Ben?
I got one more thing, and my last thing for this week is the Bronies from Kansas podcast. Bronies from Kansas podcast is, well, it's what it sounds like. It's 2 Bronies from Kansas doing a podcast. It's run by 2 high school kids, and that kind of reflects it. But it's really fun. It's a fun podcast. It's very short. They're running it off of YouTube right now, as of their latest episode, anyways. And it's just a good podcast. And I think it's nice to always help plug all the new and upcoming podcasts because God knows we needed that plugging as well. And with a little bit of work, I think that podcast would be really, really cool. So.
Oh yeah, they're being a really good perspective because I think they're actually more rural than I am. Because I live in a city with a metro area of about 250,000, which isn't large but isn't small, and they're actually in a much smaller area. So it's nice to get perspective, that kind of perspective, because that kind of it's just nice to see that. So. And they're they're just starting out, so and for just starting out, they're doing a really good job. So definitely check them out. And again, they're on YouTube. It is a video, but you can just hit play and go do something else and just listen to them in the background. There's no real video going on, so it's just all audio. So yeah. Okay. Next up. Questions.
Wait a second. I have one cool thing.
You have a cool thing?
Wow,
just
really?
One cool thing.
Whoa.
Just a
Hold
funny
the fuck
video.
up. Hold the phone. Hold the fucking phone.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, son.
A funny video of some guy
me.
playing the Titanic theme on recorder, and you should probably listen to it, because it's fucking hilarious.
Pop out. You know what, Lucky? Just stop
God.
talking. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just
So funny, man.
Fuck off. We should fire you and replace you with Casey, with King Cheetah.
With Chef Sandy.
No, I would kill him. I mean, with all due respect.
No, we need him because we need somebody to beat on every week.
Yeah, we need.
Wow, that can be taken 2 different ways.
Well.
We just need a punching
Ben,
bag.
if you guys want to beat on me, I think I would like to be beaten upon in the right place. Catch my drift.
Right, so on to the next segment.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll start off with this first question. It's from Jay Hoof. Actually, he's the host of the Rowdy Rough Brownies. He said, yeah, that's funny how that works. He says, what is the one picture that you would love to see that has yet to be drawn? It can be Rule 34 or normal. Here's an example. As for me, the one picture I would love to see is a pony version of Cosmos from Xenosaga. Honestly, I love to see Rule 34, but I'm not picky. Well, I can't... He's like, okay, so I'm guessing he's saying crossover is appropriate. And, okay, well, I guess I'll start off. The one thing I want to see is a ponified version of Dune.
Oh, okay.
It would include Paul Atreides, the Lady Jessica, Duke Leto Atreides, the Fremen, and especially Baron Harkonnen.
My boy.
But yeah, I really want to see the Baron Harkonnen just because I want to see if somebody can draw an incredibly fat pony, but
in the style of Zelda CDI, to get him just freaking right.
No, fucking Lucky, shut the fuck up.
What?
The king from the Zelda CDI games is nothing like Baron Harkonnen. All right, Baron Harkonnen is fucking evil.
The name of the king from Zelda CDI is Harkonnenian. Oh, God.
Just shut
I
up.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Shut up. Just shut up. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is going to be called the Lucky proves his retardedness episode.
You know what? Fuck you. Fuck y'all. I'm out. See you later.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
But yeah, I just want to...
Look, he was my ride home. I'm going to have to go, too.
We'll call a cab.
Oh my God.
No, but anyway, because I'm sure people who actually know about Dune know, Baron Harkonnen's incredibly fat. He's so fat that he needs gravity suspensors to hold his weight up because he's not strong enough to carry his own body around. He's that massively obese, and I want to see if somebody would be able to pull that off and not make it look stupid or cute. Because it's implied that yes, he is massively obese, but he exudes power and intimidation. It's like, you don't look at him and see, oh, that's a fat old man. You look at him and say, holy shit, that dude's terrifying. So,
Yeah.
I would love to see somebody try to pull that off successfully. So,
All right.
anybody else?
Casey?
At any Golden Corral barbecue, you'll see that.
Oh, right. I could just go down to Texas or Michigan. Go to any Golden Corral, Full House, Perkins, Steakhouse Stampede or something.
You see that guy, you know there will be no mashed potatoes for you this day. So.
All right.
Texas Roadhouse. Oh, wait, no, sorry.
Casey, Patrick, or Lucky, is there anything you guys would like to see that has yet to be drawn?
No, because actually I think the fan artists are really on top of stuff. Actually, I'm more impressed with just seeing what they come up with without any prompting. We were talking about the Weaver the other night, who also goes by Glitter Glue on Fortune. And after Lesson 0, he just came up with a thing about, started drawing Smarty Pants, the ragdoll, and then it's like, then he hit upon a spell goes wrong and Twilight becomes a doll and has to deal with that, and did a series of comics. And then he went through, drew all the main 6 and Big Macintosh as dolls, and it's like, it was a really clever series. And it's like, wow, that falls in the category of like, I wish I had done that. And I see a lot of the artists just constantly doing that. It's always fun the day a new episode airs to just troll through, MLP or Ponyborough or DeviantArt and just see what everybody immediately jumps on to draw off the new episodes.
Oh, totally.
Mm-hmm.
I usually see it filtered through Tumblr mostly because of the fact that I'm working when the new episode airs, and Tumblr has an app for the Android, so that makes it really a lot easier than trying to view 4chan on a mobile phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool. One thing I really like is not to take it over, but what Giuseco's doing with Daring Do.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, and the humanization, and like Nazi Trixie, doing the whole Daring Do Adventure series with her as a human.
Exactly. He just pulled that out of thin air, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and he had like Nazi Trixie, and I guess Princess Luna is with Daring Do, and that's looking to be really cool, really fun. And he just totally. There was some prompting, obviously, with the episode, but he just totally. He did the exact same thing that the Weaver did, and just took this little tiny thing and just ran with it. So that's really cool.
That's one of the things I've always kind of been intrigued about with the fandom since the beginning. Is just how some of this stuff will build, because setting aside a lot of the controversy about Derpy, if you look at her as a character, it's like, okay, she started out as a background joke, and I first became aware of that in September of 2010, and then talk to Lauren, and she kind of fills in the holes, but then from there the fandom starts. Like, I couldn't even tell you where the thing about Derpy becoming a mailman came from. It's just, it just happened one day. And then later, I think it was in either Winter Wrap-Up or Fall Weather Friends is when everybody got the idea that Dinky was her daughter in their head. And that just, rolled from there. It's, from Fall Weather Friends, we already saw Lyra and Bon Bon together a lot of times, but it's like, okay, Lyra sitting on the bench after being winded in the race, and then this builds up over time that, okay, she has this secret obsession with humans and wanting to have hands, and it just kept building and building and building to it's just its own meme now.
Yeah, and even with Hasbro and COB kind of giving a little tiny shout out to it, where you see her in the background of what's the name of the with the flirt putting your hoof down, where she's like at the table, sort of kind of sitting like a human would. I mean, not exactly the same as a human, but
trying to reach which she can't.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, the thing with Derpy is, with both of them is that they were completely blank slates, so you can just sort of put anything into it, and then, Derpy Hooves it's a little bit more controversial, because you have so many different headcanons going on with her, where she's like the husband of Doctor Who's, or the sidekick to Doctor Who's, or she's just a male mare with Dinky. And all this, and whereas with Lyra, it's sort of become really focused in on this one thing that the fandom has decided.
Everybody is keeping it kind of light. Lyra and Bon Bon don't have quite the emotional resonance that Derpy has with some fans, and everybody seems cool with having them as a couple. And which I think is funny, because I keep going back to, you look at the poster that Hasbro put out for Comic-Con in 2011, and it's like, the poster is full of stuff that is important to us, but actually has no real bearing on the show. It's like, the only reason you put it in the poster is because you knew we would respond to it. Your casual watcher is not going to catch any of this. It's like that... all of the monsters are there, including Stephen Magnet and the Manticore. Lyra and Bon Bon are together. Dr. Hooves is in there. Derpy is in there. And that's all stuff only we care about. So that was our first real hint that they were kind of paying attention to us. And that's what I kind of caution everybody about now. It's like, guys, they don't make a big deal about it, but they scrutinize everything we do. And I'm not saying that, okay, you should be ashamed or anything. It's like, trust me, Hasbro has been running these properties for like 20 and 30 years. They know how far the fans are going to go with it. Okay, this is nothing new to them. They're not going to be shocked or anything, but they are tickled by how much love and how much attention and how much promotion we give this show for them. This has hands down been the most successful iteration of My Little Pony. And they really appreciate this. They're just not quite sure where to go with it because, like, all right, we are really outside of their comfort zone. That it's like, you have all of these girls that are obsessing on Transformers now, and then you have all of these guys that are into My Little Pony, and they're like, okay, we appreciate this, but, all right, how do we sell you stuff? How do we market to you?
Yeah,
we don't go far.
Well, there's no more team experience than Hasbro to do that.
Yeah, and it's like we said before. It's like there's nothing really the fandom can do to creep out or anger Hasbro as a corporation, aside from out and out theft and piracy. That's pretty much the only thing that's really gonna ruffle their feathers.
Oh, and that's a lawyer thing more than a corporate thing. Because remember, Hasbro's not monolithic. You know, the animation division does not talk to promotions, which doesn't talk to the toy prototypers, which doesn't talk to production. You know, they're all separate entities within the aegis of the company. And then I can't remember who it was. It might have been Creole, but one of the animators was talking about the fact that, okay, one of the guys from promotions just showed up at Studio B one day with the toy of the balloon, and they're like, could you guys put this in some episodes? And they said, sure. And, you know, in all through season one, you see the balloon used pretty naturally, you know, in Fall with Their Friends and in Sonic Rainboom. You know, it worked well. And then they, you know, you roll around towards season two, and they're like, we really love the train that you had in Over a Barrel, so we made a train. Could you use this more? So all of a sudden in season two, you know, the Ponyville has a railroad, and it's established. And this was nothing planned from the top. It's just these guys thought, hey, we can make a train toy. And now if you've seen the Happy Meal boxes, it's like, wow, Pinky riding the train. And I believe last week, not this week, but last week during the hub programming, they showed the actual commercials for the Pinkie Pie train, which was, you know, kind of demented. Like, is that all it does? It just goes in a circle? Really?
Well,
it's kind of Pinkie Pie-like, but you know, that's the thing. And now that they've talked about putting out the special Brony box set, which they make no bones about. If you remember the video when they were talking to the Hasbro rep, she said it's like, this is for the Bronies. You know, specifically, it's the one with Nightmare Moon and Trixie and DJ Pony. It's like that was specifically to say thank you to us. And that's another thing I got to remind everybody. It's like, okay, buy this thing like crazy when it comes out.
Oh, of course, and don't be angry that it's coming out, this fall?
Yeah.
I think they said, it's like you said, it's like, Hasbro's not monolithic. It took this long it's sort of similar to Sony, to the Sony Corporation, where, you know, there's various departments within Sony that don't talk to each other, which is kind of why Sony really sucks right now if you're into gaming and TVs, you know. But Hasbro's doing it a little bit better, you know, and that's just why it just took a while. It's just that it needed to finally get over to the right departments.
Well, one thing that the Bronies have to understand is this is Hasbro tending to a very long-term property. And it's like, the ratings are really good on the show, but they know better from past experience. It's like, okay, it always pays to go out on top. And just like in the past, we'll get maybe 4 seasons of the show. And then they're just going to let it rest a while. They'll go ahead and they'll take a break, maybe 5 years or so, and then we'll get G5 iteration of Ponies. Because that's the way they've always done it. And that's the way they've done it with G.I. Joe, and that's the way they've done it with Transformers. All of their properties are cyclical. And so the Brony community needs to prepare itself for what is inevitably going to come, is that, okay, the show will just stop one day, but it'll come back later.
Yeah, and
that's why, you've had fans of this show since G1, and they've hung on. So that should tell you, it's like, that's where you see who is really a fan, is who's willing to wait. And it's like, no, I'm just going to collect toys and bide my time till G5 rolls around.
And I'm starting to gain a little bit of confidence in that. Yeah, a lot of fans will probably leave, but there will still be a really dedicated group who for a lot of people, it'll be like their first fandom, and they'll have such a good experience. Well, they'll stick around with it, but then go explore other fandoms like Homestuck or go into anime or furry or whatever. But they'll still be bronies. And when
look at all the cartoon fans from the late '90s. It's like Cartoon Network. That was its prime. So you had Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Lab and Cow and Chicken, and you had all
Samurai Jack and all that, yeah.
Well, that was all the big shows where we got that kickoff, and it's like, okay, that built a kind of loyalty to cartoons, but not specifically to those cartoons. Because it's like, okay, we all acknowledge that, after season 3, Powerpuff Girls gets kind of lame. After season 4 of Dexter's Lab, it gets kind of lame. Both of those shows went longer than they should have.
Well, and towards Powerpuff Girls, sort of where it was looking like it was going to end, you had the movie come out too, and the movie was spectacular.
The movie was halfway through the run, and that was what happened. Is all the really good production people got pulled off doing the show to work on the movie, and that's when all the Shrek and Stringers came in, and that's why those later seasons, it's like animation isn't quite as good, the stories are really flat. It just seems sort of pointless because you did have the B team on it. And the problem with Dexter's Lab is like, okay, by that point, the big guys, Van Partible, Gennady Tartakovsky, and Craig McCracken were already off doing other stuff by that point. They had the stuff they wanted to do, because it's like, even before McCracken had finished up with Dexter's Lab, he wanted to do Foster's. In fact, he pitched Foster's a lot longer than he lets on, until finally Cartoon Network relented and let him do it. And it's like, okay, what do you know? It was another hit for them. Samurai Jack was going strong, and the only reason they quit doing that is because that entire team approached Lucas about doing the Clone Wars cartoon. And that literally was something they just did and presented to him as a fait accompli. And they had some street cred because they had successful shows on Cartoon Network, but they approached Lucas and they're like, okay, this is what we can do. And he's like, all right. And that was how we got that Clone Wars cartoon, because these guys were self-starters. But that's also why they had to end off Samurai Jack, because, like, well, we want to do this.
And that's what's going to happen with My Little Pony, is that it's going to end, but what you're going to see is there'll still be bronies. There's so many OCs, and there's a fuck ton of shitty OCs, but there's also a lot of really good OCs that can keep going, and I think you'll still see. The thing that will save us is the doers, because you look now at Hot Diggity Demon and others, it's like fan animations and games and music and everything will actually carry us a very long way. Yeah, I could see this fandom easily holding up 2 years after the show stops, just off the momentum of the people that already do fan stuff. Yeah, I could totally see this as being a self-sustaining fandom if there are doers and that people keep coming into it that want to do stuff for it.
Well,
I was talking to Sandy about this a couple of weeks ago, and if you think about it, if they do 4 seasons, that's what, 26? That's 104 episodes. That's a pretty fat syndication package. So though there are new episodes coming out, they could rerun that or like sell it to Toon Disney or whatever, and just keep it rolling and keep the interest going, because that was what was going with Teen Titans for a while.
And Teen Titans still has a pretty big following too, even though it's over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's really up to the fandom itself, and it's like, as much as we complain about stuff, trust me, I've been in some fandoms. This is an active fandom. As much as you can complain about stupid people being in it or Rule 34 or whatever, it's like that sort of stuff has always been there, but this has the highest number of people who actually get off their ass and do something. I mean, even kids on DeviantArt who can't draw or anything at least learn to vector. I mean, they contribute. And that's kind of the cool thing about this. Like, even if you're not that great, you at least try. And that's really commendable compared to, other stuff I've seen, that you at least give it a shot and you at least keep working and try to get better just because you enjoy participating.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, hell, just look at I'm good at doing it, and Ben's good at doing is podcasting. Look at how many, I mean, you could just go on to iTunes and just see how many My Little Pony podcasts are. There's Bronieville, there's the Diamond Dogs, there's Everfree Radio, there's the Bro Hoof, there's the Grand Canterlot Cavalcade, there's Bronies from Kansas, there's Rowdy Rough Bronies, there's the Pony Pokey podcast, there's and probably 5 or 6 more that I can't list. And yeah, a lot of them are gonna eventually die off, but still there's but I can see many of them just keep going, just based on the fandom itself. Just the fact that this fandom has so many podcasts right now is pretty amazing,
And the thing is that this fandom also spawns participation, and part of the reason you want to listen to a podcast, like, okay, even if you can't have a conversation with somebody about it, a lot of people will tune into the podcast because they like to hear other people's like analysis of the episodes or their thoughts, or did you catch this thing or that thing that was in there, or did you think this was a problem in the story? And that's part of the popularity of all of these shows, because there is that interest.
Now, if I may interject, we've been on this tangent for like 20 minutes now, and it's great. No, it's been a really good discussion, but actually I think it's we can tie that back in to the question that J-Hoof asked, except allow me, J-Hoof, if you will, to change the wording of this. He asked, what is the one picture that you would love to see that has yet to be drawn? And we've sort of come to the conclusion to this.
You left that part about it being of rarity.
Okay, here's what I want to see. I want to see Rarity and Tino shipping.
What I was going to say was we sort of come to this conclusion that it's really the doers of the fandom who keep the fandom going. So I'm going to change the wording. I'm going to take a little bit of license with this question and reword the question to say this: what is the one picture that you would love to see that you would challenge somebody listening to draw that has yet to be drawn? And I think you guys have given your answers. Is there anything else you'd like to say before I give mine?
Let me just reiterate mine is Baron Harkonnen. That's my challenge. Baron Harkonnen from the Dune series, not the Zelda shit.
I would apply the challenge to myself, and it's like, what should I put the effort into drawing? And I will give you the heads up. I'm working on a rarity pick now that is a costume piece that I actually spent 3 days researching. And that's all I'm giving.
All right.
I'll definitely be paying attention to your DA and to Tumblr.
Check the Tumblr first. That's usually I post stuff on Tumblr first. DA is the last link in the chain.
I got first note. I call first note.
other artists, it's just, I don't know. I just encourage artists to do what they're comfortable doing. Because if you could tell in a lot of regards when an artist is working on something, whether they're into it or not, or whether it's like, okay, I'm doing this because this is popular and I want to get some page views, but my heart's not really in it, or I'm just doing this for the money. But then you could see something like, I will say Slugbox, for example. Slugbox's stuff is really good and fluid because you can tell he's having a very good time drawing. He really likes drawing. And it shows in his work. He doesn't produce a lot of stuff, but the stuff he does do usually looks very nice. And, then I could look at other guys like Mega Sweet that it's like, okay, he wanted to do a joke or he wanted to cash in on something, but he looked like he was rushed for time and he did an okay job, but you look at it, it's like, I've seen you do better. So you were under the gun or something. So mostly I'd just say, just encourage the artist to just do what they're happy doing.
Yeah.
That brings us back around to Scoon.
No. We can have an episode later where we talk about Scoon, but no.
I just can't believe we're planning to have a Scoon episode.
No. That is all I am saying.
Invite him on.
Scoon is actually one of the reasons I left Fur Affinity. No, not because of that, him. I left because of the way he was being treated by Dragoneer and the mods. Because they were deleting some of his pieces, and even I had to say, it's like, all right, this is really candy ass. There was no reason to delete these pieces. But at the time, Dragoneer was kind of on a tear, and I won't even get into that whole thing, but it's just...
I think
people.
Yeah, I think I remember that because really the reason I came on the Fur Affinity was because of Renar Queenson and Squeech Monster, and they were having a lot of trouble with the mods, and they took off. And I feel kind of bad for not jumping on the FA sooner because it looked like a lot of cool shit was being posted up there, but yeah, I got on right when the mods had their little bitch fest, and then I just took off, and it's like, well, I guess I missed this boat, so...
Yeah, some good pony artists are being chased off of there, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
You got a few people hanging on, but most of the pony artists are leaving. I mean, because you've got Pony Burra and Pony Chan and 413 FIM Chan. You have plenty of other places to put your pony art. You don't even need Fur Affinity.
Yeah, so. But anyway, enough banter between us. We should let Lucky and Ben talk.
Well, Lucky, is there something that has been drawn that you'd like to see drawn?
I'm sure there are plenty of things, but as for anything in specific, I can't really think of anything. I've been too enthralled by this conversation.
All right. Well, I've actually been thinking about my answer the entire time, like a real podcaster. And my answer ties into a series of pictures that went up a while back. For those of you who don't know, there's a Tumblr called Pizza Fandom Confessions. That's hilarious. It's a parody of the Fandom Confessions. And somebody drew a picture. It was Rule 34 of Coke and pizza ponies, which sadly I did not save and do not have, and I'll find it sometime. It's one of my favorite pictures of all time. I would like to see more of that. I am a lover of food.
Yeah.
And as such, food is something... Watching Food Network is, like they say, when you're hungry, is like watching porn when you're horny. And I say, why not do both at the same time? All right, well, I think we've talked out this question
extensively. Congratulations.
And I hope you're happy, J-Hoof.
I hope you're happy.
And this next question is mostly for me. Shrewd Biscuit asks, just wondering, does the podcast mascot pony have a name? She really isn't the mascot. She's more or less my OC, and her name is Mosadek. And the only reason she has that name is because When I was a while ago, I kind of got on this thing about reading about the Cold War history, and a big part of it was what was going on in Iran. And one of the leaders of Iran that was actually a really cool dude that kind of got taken out by. Well, basically what he did was he pissed off British Petroleum by nationalizing the petroleum industry in Iran. So British Petroleum asked the CIA to go take him out, and the CIA went and took him out. And his name was Mossadegh. So that's her name. It's Mossadegh, and she's actually my OC. But yeah, she is sort of the unofficial mascot pony. So,
All right.
So
All right. There you go.
Somebody else read this next one. It's really
All right.
short.
The next question is from Pancake Landmines. Where did you get your intro? And I'm not sure which he's talking about. Okay, well, if you're talking about the first episode, the intro to the first episode was Omnipony's Return, but the actual intro that we used from the show from episode 2 onwards is the Grand Canterlot Cavalcade. That's by me. I wrote it.
Actually, you should probably, after that, I guess just put an A and have it be... Because you posted it up on Tumblr, right?
Yeah, I did post it on Tumblr.
You probably want to link that. So.
Okay, I'll link the post later. I have to go look for it, but I'll link that later in the show notes.
Yeah, because that's the raw intro, because usually you mix it in with us.
Yeah, I cut it up.
So, and final question is... Bronies from Kansas asks, "Hey, I'm Deaf Mike." that's a live stream joke there. What kind of semi-truck do you drive? I like semi-trucks. I drive a 2008 Kenworth T660 with a Cummins ISX 485 diesel engine and a Eaton Fuller 13-speed transmission. Now, back to ponies.
Back to our scheduled programming.
It's a really good truck. I used to drive a Volvo, and to be honest, I liked the interior of the Volvo more than I liked the Kenworth, but Volvos are weak pieces of shit. If you're fully loaded at 40 tons and you're trying to climb up the mountain, they crawl up. Whereas with a Kenworth, they can pull a mountain really, really easily. So it's a trade-off between comfort and performance, and, well, performance is a lot better, in my opinion. I'd much rather have that, because that means I can go home and be home more instead of driving on the road. So, yeah. For that. So I guess on to our main topic. And
yeah, we actually talked a little bit about the main topic earlier.
Actually, yeah, we did. King Cheetah has some things to say about them bullshit's claims.
Uh-oh.
Well, we covered that a bit, that because of the nature of furry fandom. I mean, furry fandom covers a broad category. I mean, no 10 furries are going to agree what furry is. So it's more akin to saying, okay, furry fandom is like science fiction fandom. There's a lot of stuff that falls under science fiction. You know, pony fandom is more akin to something like Star Trek or Star Wars fandom, because it is about a single thing, but still has divergent opinions based on a source material. You know, and that's why the nature of the fandoms are different and why you treat them differently. Because furry fandom, because it is just so vague, has bumped around and been a lot of things over time, but it hasn't really gone anywhere. It's just gotten bigger. Because you're a furry fan just simply because you gravitate to something. You're a furry fan because you like funny animal stuff, or you like furry stuff. You like cartoons, you like comics. It's not necessarily, a lot of people are furry fans without being self-identified, but it's like, okay, they go to all the Disney furry movies, or they buy all the Looney Tunes comics that, are coming out through I think that's DC.
Or they're into the what's that called? I just want to say they're Japanese furries, but they have a specific name. I can't think of it offhand.
Well, there are several flavors. There's Kemono.
Kemono,
that is furry as we understand it. And then there's another word called Monogatari, which applies to more animals, talking animals along the lines of The Lion King, which Japan has a lot of anime and manga about. And
so
that's the differentiation there.
So, yeah, okay, all right.
I actually have a question. The parallels that I was drawing in that episode, and I agree with you that they are completely different fandoms for that very reason. The parallels that I was drawing, I drew them because, one, the furry fandom is really the only other fandom that I've been as involved in or as watchful of. I've been involved in, the metal fandom, the anime fandom, but I'm not as involved in those as I am and invested as I am in the furry fandom. So my question is this: when I was drawing those parallels, I was drawing them from a standpoint of the sort of contention that happens in internet fandoms and internet communities and communities as a whole too, and the idea that so many people don't feel they need to look back on the history of other communities to understand how a community grows, changes, and becomes better. Is that something you would agree with?
Yeah, but again, there's a stark difference between furry fandom and pony fandom, and that being the internet. Furry fandom, what we understand as furry fandom, began in the very late 70s. And it started just from a common interest in APAs and in letter writing in some small fanzines at the time of people that just had similar interests. They liked Disney's Robin Hood and some of their animal features. They just okay, I like this. Let's get together and talk about it. Okay, slowly over time, other people joined in for their own reasons. Some of them just had something completely else going on, but they projected furry onto it, which is where a lot of the drama came from that, furries get tarred with, for good or bad. But, it built over time and accelerated. It's like furry is pretty mainstream now because of the internet and because of communities like Fur Affinity and So Furry and Ink Bunny and E621. You can just kind of get together and you have your friends, but you don't need the fandom anymore. That's the thing, is the culmination of fandoms is that, like a chrysalis, it falls away because it's not needed. You have easy access to other people with common interests. You can talk directly to them. You have easy access to whatever the material is, so you don't have to hunt around. I mean, you don't have to go to a furry con to get furry art or comics or anything anymore. You can just get it off the internet. Pony fandom was born hot. It had a lot of wind at its back when it started. It seems slow to us, but when you look at how we progressed in just a year and a half, it's amazing how fast this fandom has grown and how big it's become. And it sort of follows the social dynamic that furry did, only playing it at 78 speed. So a lot of the drama and everything has sort of flared up and then died out because it's like, okay, it was replaced by other things. And you have the fandom is sort of settled out comfortably into various camps. So it's like, okay, MLP on 4chan has a certain flavor and attitude to it. And it's very comfortable to some people. Pony-chan, appeals to other people. You've got the very vibrant and active pony communities on DeviantArt. They all get along really well. There's plenty of people to talk to. And that's why I say it's like the fandoms are almost obsolete now because unlike, say, a year ago, when you really did have to scrabble around to try to find the episodes online or talk to people and stuff, now you don't. It's very easy to find pony fans all over the place. You don't even really need a fandom anymore. There'll be plenty of podcasts. There'll be, put out. There'll be art. We'll have our own message boards and art. But we don't really need anything. I was thinking about this because in the old days you used to have conventions. And it's like, okay, we have BronyCon now, we have Everfree starting up, but it's like, is it really necessary to go there? I mean, you go there, you don't have to go to a convention out of necessity to get stuff or interact with people. It's like, if you're going just simply because you want to go and hang out with other people. Okay, and that's where the crucial difference is. When you look back over the history of things like comic books or science fiction, it's like, in the old days, you went to conventions because you had to, because that was the only way you were going to lay your hands on stuff or meet certain people or get to talk to folks about certain things. And we're just kind of beyond that now. I'm actually very comfortable with where Bronies are right now because, like, well, a lot of this stuff isn't that necessary.
All right, that was actually the only question about that I had. Is there anything else you'd like to add or things I've said that you'd like to refute? Please do.
No, that was just the thing. Was just that it's like I wouldn't compare it to furry fandom because, you know, they are faggots. All right? Just get that on the table. I'm kidding. No, it's just furry fandom is its own other thing, and I don't think accurately represents a parallel to Bronies.
Okay.
All right. Despite the fact that's a really easy shorthand for haters to just okay, you're all just fur fags and so
I was about to say.
Whatever. I've been perusing MLP the last couple of days on whenever I refer to that I mean 4chan. And there's just this incessant string of threads popping up of, no, explain it to me. Why do you like this show? And it's like, God, this is pathetic. For trolling, it's like, dude, we covered all this ground last March. Okay? This isn't even good trolling. And besides, if you were serious about this, any rational adult would watch a couple of episodes before you even approach somebody. It's not like I have to convince you to watch the show. It's like if you were really curious about this, you would have watched the show and then said, so what is it you guys see in this? I've watched it and I'm not getting it. And that's just most heads from Co and some of the other boards on 4chan trolling, but it's really lame attempts, which makes us believe that these are the second stringers. Because the amusing thing is the beatards on 4chan are very happy. You know, the MLP, they've got MLP and they still have their own pony threads on B, the random board. The comrades not so happy because, okay, they have their attitude about what pony fandom should be, and so they set up their own little tree fort within MLP, and that's fine. But everybody else just wanders outside of that and just posts their own threads. You know, the comedy now, you have a crap, I can't even remember what it's called now. You have this marker that is the big MLP marker, and there's a link called the hyperlink index that shows you all the tracking data on whatever thread the MLP marker has been in on 4chan. Now, we used to need that because if you were on Co and we were only allowed to have one MLP thread, this was a quick way to, rather than digging through 15 pages of threads, this would take you to it instantly. It would show you, all right, these are all the threads before. This is the current one that has the marker that is active, and you could just jump right to it and talk.
Yeah, I remember I actually had that saved on my phone because that would happen so fast. Would be threads would start up, hit the post limit or the image limit, and then die off, and you had to wait for the next thread to come up, and then you use the marker to jump into that thread.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the comrades are still doing that on MLP, and the MLPG threads are theirs. That's their little tree fort, and the bread threads are the beatards. But the MLPG guys still post the markers like, guys, you don't need to do that. We have our own board. You know, you're just doing this out of inertia or just to be contrarians or because, you know, then you won't have something to be king of. But it's like, just post a thread and talk about the damn show. You don't have to try to set up a little, city-state within the thread. We've got it good now.
Well, it could also be a sense of nostalgia because I did jump on the fandom very, very early on. Actually,
you're not supposed to be nostalgic for something that's barely half a year old.
I understand, but it's sort of like how you said this fandom started out very hot, and yeah, I do remember like December 2010, January, February, where it's like all you had were those markers, and I mean, I'm not trying to defend them because I think it's time for them to get out of that, but whatever.
Oh.
But it could be a nostalgia thing where it's like, yeah, back then it's like before EQD and all that, when all you really had were those threads and co. It could be just a call out to that. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I think that's a pretty valid point that these guys just are comfortable with that, and that's fine. But we got a big old board now, and exactly like you say now. I mean, you look at Derpy Hooves and you look at EQD and Pony Leaks, and on Twitter I follow like 5 pony news services. It's like that's what I'm talking about. It's like, well, we don't really need a fandom per se because it's like, do you really need a fandom for Big Bang Theory? Well, not really. It's a national show. The people that enjoy it. Whatever, fine. But you don't have to like, oh man, we have to have a message board so people get together. It's like, oh no, it's everywhere. It's nice if you want to do that, but you don't have to. It's easy to find people to talk about it. But Ponies is now reached it. I mean, think about it. Think of another cartoon. Think of something like Camp Laszlo if it had a Brony style fandom. A single cartoon, or Samurai Jack is a better example.
Yeah, that would be a better example.
And it's like, okay, undeniably an outstanding cartoon, and the people who loved it, but it had nothing like the enthusiasm that MLP gives us. But if you were a fan of Samurai Jack, you would need a fandom to find other people who wanted to talk about this and interact. That's the big difference there.
Well, in there, I want to ask you, we're just going under the hypothesis that after season 4, it's done, and then there might be a break between G4 and G5, or
that's when
whatever.
we get our movie. That's when they would throw a movie at us.
I think, I was about to mention, do you think there's a possibility that in between that break we would get a feature film? I mean, maybe not to theaters, but that'd be nice if it would be like the Powerpuff Girls movie and it went to theaters. That would be sweet.
Well, but think about this. There's a big difference because if they're going to do a theatrical release, there's what would be a good story for a theatrical release versus what we would want to see. And it's like there's one storyline rumbling around that everybody wants to see, but would not be a good move for a movie, and that is Celestia and Luna taking out Discord. That bit of meta is really what the fans would like to see, the hardcore fans. But, taking little kids to this, like, where's Twilight Sparkle? Well, she hasn't been born yet.
Oh, see, now I kind of went a totally different way. I thought you were going to say something totally different, which I was going to agree with. And my thing was going to be the Cutie Mark Crusaders finally get their cutie marks.
That's not a bad idea, but I think they'll actually – that will probably be something – if they have enough heads up of when they're going to end the series, I think they'll that would be what they would do.
Yeah, they probably do that in the show because if they ended the show without them getting their cutie marks, then everybody would be like, oh, well, then it's obvious they're going to come out with a movie. You know?
Yeah. Still,
and then everybody would know what the movie was about. Yeah.
You got to bear in mind, though, the Cutie Mark Crusaders are incredibly stupid. So maybe they'll just be those ponies that never get one.
Probably. Well, together they're stupid. Individually, I think they can be more... It's sort of like humans. Individual humans are reasonable and logical and intelligent, but groups of humans are paranoid and stupid and violent, you know.
Well, but, as always, it's like the characters are going to be whatever the writers need them to be to make that episode work. So, we get some episodes where Twilight is just this incredible spaz with OCD, and then you get others where she's the voice of reason. And it's like, well, the Cutie Mark Crusaders are blockheads because that's what leads to comedy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like them screwing up is funny, which is why I found it amusing that everybody bags on Snips and Snails. It's like, if you watch the CMC episodes, trust me, if anything, Snips and Snails are geniuses compared to the girls.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. But I wanted to ask you, do you think, let's say after the movie and everything and things start to calm down, do you think it could come to a point where if we wanted this whole thing to keep going, would it have to go back to being a fandom, or...
Yeah, that's what would happen. It's like, okay, remember for a while there, Pokemon was this huge social phenom. And then it finally devolved back down to, it's like, okay, the people who play Pokemon are the hardcore Pokemon players. And I'm referring to the card game.
Yeah.
And that's the way Ponies will be. It's like, all right, it's really huge now, and everybody knows it, and it'll be one of those things everybody knows. Okay, everybody will be able to tell stories like, oh yeah, I was really into that show when I was a kid. But it'll fall back to the hardcores, and the hardcores will form their information networks. And the other interesting thing is that Hasbro, people who were quavering about, they're going to shut us down for making our plushies and stuff like that. It's like, guys, you understand, Hasbro makes blank ponies specifically for customizers. And they're going to, by the time this is all done, they will have produced a G4 blank. All right? And they will offer that to us. It's like we will have the G4 body without wings, G4 head without horn. And they'll just offer them blank. Go to the Hasbro site. You can find these G1, G2, G3, blank ponies, the big ones. And they sell them to customizers who have been making, merch off this for 2 decades. And when Hasbro does a trade show, they open up a section specifically for cottage industry because they know how to really treat their fan bases that have promoted them. The same thing with Transformers. Transformer guys have made correction pieces and resin accurizing kits forever for the Transformers. And not only has Hasbro never shut them down, they've encouraged it. Because they know it's like, nobody's going to make a shit ton of money off of this, so it's harmless. And nobody's doing anything that damages the property. If anything, it just instills more interest in it. It keeps a loyal legacy fan base going. And that's what we got ahead of us, is that, okay, if we show that we are a market force, we buy the blind bags, they're very happy with everything, and Hasbro's getting there. The Hub loved us almost immediately. Hasbro's slowly coming around. They will treat us the way they treat the G1 fans. They will continue to put out stuff just for us. They will encourage us as much as they can. They'll offer things up. Things will be pretty good for us. But it'll be a fandom in eclipse. Just like it has before. It's like, think about it. What happened to pony fans in between G2 and G3? They're still there. If you caught the last Bronieville cast, obviously you did, with the gal explaining it, it's like, yeah, if you just hang on, there'll always be something there for you. And that becomes its own fun hobby, is that, okay, you just want to see what's coming next.
Yeah, it's like after G4 ends, I'm going to be really excited, I won't hype myself up too much because we could get, the chances there we could get a G 3.5 or something like that, where it's just a complete whatever.
That's the funny thing is that 3.5 is G4 that just didn't work. But it was the same idea. It's like, all right, we're going to do a redesign. We're going to step outside of the box. We're going to try something new. And it's like, in Lauren's case, it worked. In the case of 3.5, it didn't, but at least they tried. It was not just shoveling the same goofy stuff. It's like, okay, but they just picked the wrong person to go to. But like I've said before, G4 will change the way they look at this franchise. Because when it comes time to do G5, they will look at everything that was successful about G4 and then try to find that next right person to be their go-to to, decide the look and the story and the feel. But,
Yeah, and then that actually does make me really excited to see what's in store for G5. I don't know if they have anything. None of us can know if they have anything even written down for G5. They may not have any plan whatsoever for G5, but...
Oh, no. As of yet, they don't. And they won't for another couple of years, because they'll let G4 run its course, and then they'll worry about G5.
Oh, yeah. So...
All right.
Well,
I actually have nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
Lucky, do you have any questions?
See, guys, I having worked in comics and stuff, I know how the merchandising and what it's like to tend to a long-term project. And remember, when I worked for Antarctic Press, we did our own action figures, so, I went through that whole wrap. So once you understand how companies work, a lot of this stuff becomes kind of obvious. And Hasbro, I'm becoming really fascinated with Hasbro as a corporate entity and how they've managed this stuff over the years. I'd actually like to sit back and do a little more research because...
They are. I mean, just going to their Wikipedia page, they are really an incredible company because they've managed and acquired and created so many properties. I mean, you look at their list of subsidiaries and properties they own.
Yeah.
Just about every major toy line you can think of, they have had a part in or owned, and just on that, just looking at the recent recession we had, they were not affected by it at all, just because of how...
Oh, yeah, and they got worldwide stuff so that they can help amateurize a lot of the blow. And, they got girls' toys, they got boys' toys, they got family toys. It is a good diversified company.
And one property that I was into and still into that was made by Hasbro was Nerf. It still is Nerf, and they really, it's not a fandom obviously because it's just a line of toy guns, but they do listen to the people who are fans of Nerf and respond to them. It's like, for a while, Nerf, I mean, on the surface deal with Nerf, it's still marketed towards, young boys, but it's obvious that those toys are also designed for older men my age who
the legacy fandoms.
Yeah, and who like to have Nerf fights in offices and.
Oh yeah, they understand who buys Nerf. That was why it's like they knew when they put out long ago the little tiny Nerf basketball and hoop. It's like, they knew that was going to be in offices. That was not going to be something just sitting in a kid's bedroom. They were well aware of this. Same thing with the Nerf footballs. Nerf footballs is made for college-age kids, not little kids.
And you look at the Nerf guns they have now, like the Maverick, and the Maverick's designed to be taken apart and modded. It's so easy to take apart a Maverick and put a much more powerful spring in there. So I mean, I got a friend, he rebuilt his Maverick, and it shoots a dart, and it'll sting.
Well, there you go. But,
Yeah,
I mean, right now, Hasbro is smart enough with all three of its properties because G.I. Joe's Renegades, Transformers Prime, and Ponies are all three doing really well. And in all three cases, they stepped outside the box, got completely new people to do a fresh take on each of the three properties. So it's like they've shown that they've learned from the past. And that the debacle that was 3.5, it's like, okay, they learned from that and moved on from it. But that's why I say 4 being such a success will really influence what 5 looks like. Because you're going to find, we expect a certain level of story writing and humor. That is the big selling point on the show. The show is very, very good. This isn't like the previous cartoons, which were just really aimed at little kids. And
well, and you're gonna see, in between the break, you're gonna see a lot of the hipster bronies and the ironic bronies fall away because it's no longer the cool thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just gonna be left to the hardcore fans, and they're gonna be very critical. I mean,
good riddance, I say. Good riddance.
Okay, yeah, good riddance to the hipsters. I'm on. You see a lot of them. They're pretty obvious, and but yeah, I'm gonna be really glad because
I would even throw Yamano in that category.
Yeah, I could throw.
God, no.
I could throw several people in that category, but I don't want to name names just in case I'm wrong.
Well, but that's the point. Is like, fine, let them do what they do, but like I said, you could tell someone who's sincere versus somebody who's just bandwagoning. It's going to survive, and like I say, a lot of the stuff that we do will last.
Yeah, and it's like, I think, a lot of us are going to remain bronies for a long time coming, because it's like, if it wasn't for My Little Pony, I wouldn't be podcasting. If it wasn't for My Little Pony, I wouldn't know any of you.
Yeah.
And so many people, so definitely I'm going to stick around.
Oh, yeah, but what you're going to see sooner rather than later is much like what was it, in the early 90s we were already seeing the Autobot and Decepticon window stickers for your car.
Oh, yeah, and then, you're going to see...
You'll see a similar thing. You'll see, maybe 5 years from now, you'll have enough of a nostalgia market that you'll just be able to get cutie marks for your car. The main 6 cutie marks and maybe a couple of others, and, the right people will get it.
Yeah, it'll be... Well, and you'll be able to tell it's sort of like the Calvin piston on whatever you want him to piss on. It's like, you see somebody with that and you're like, no, they're not a Calvin and Hobbes fan.
Yeah, exactly.
A Calvin and Hobbes fan knows that's so. But yeah, we're gonna see that, and it'll be just fine. It's like, you see, being a truck driver, you see so many Autobot stickers all over so many Peterbilts.
And that was the thing. It's like in the early 90s, this seemed peculiar because, remember, by then, Transformers had been off the air maybe 5 years. So it wasn't... It was surprising to see that fandom starting up already, but it was a nostalgia market. And, think about what the nostalgia market for this show is going to be. The way these things tend to go.
That'll be really interesting. Another example is happening right now is the video game market. you can run down the Target or Walmart and pick up a Super Mario T-shirt for like $7, and you'll see people wearing those, or like actually Target's there because they sell shirts like that have the Atari logo on it and Galaga and Space Invaders, and you see the people wearing them, and you're like, you have no fucking clue what the hell that is. You don't have any idea what the hell you're wearing. You don't know what Atari is. But
yeah, exactly.
It won't really matter. Some bronies will get angry about it, but
Have you seen on YouTube somebody has done 8-bit audio of all of the songs from the show, and they faked up this little 8-bit Game Boy basic of each of the ponies for this?
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that. Have you seen that, Ben?
Yeah, I have, and there are several people doing that. One of them is Interrobang Pi, who I'm a big fan of. He's been doing quite a few 8-bit remixes as well. But there's a lot of that out there.
Who today has actually played an 8-bit game? That's what I find funny about this. Everybody likes that sort of look and the idea of an 8-bit game. It's like, guys, trust me. I was playing video games in the 80s, and it wasn't all that great.
Oh, geez. I could get, this is going back to my days in like Brony. We would talk about this, about how, like, I remember having my NES and getting 2 to 3 games, maybe 2 guaranteed, maybe 3 games a year, and then maybe rent a game on the weekends from the grocery store. And you had to be invested. I remember when I rented Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Mm-hmm.
That was an awful, awful game, but I played it because that's all I had.
Yeah, exactly. And now you look at the main 6 fight game or Pony Cards, and this is amazing because that's just fans doing that. And these things.
And they're doing it for free. I mean, that's a crazy
And that's what I'm talking about. Is like, this is what has made this fandom different than others. Is that our guys and gals are putting in the effort, and these things really will last. You didn't have this sort of love heaped on stuff in the 90s.
No, I think what also really helps is that the technology to do that kind of stuff has been made available to practically everybody. I mean, we won't see a main 6 fighting game built on the Street Fighter 4 engine.
Yeah.
We definitely have a Street Fighter 2 level main 6 fighting game.
You can get an old copy of RPG Maker for the PC. And, modding that to take the ponies would be effortless.
Oh, yeah. I think actually I did hear a few rumblings on it on Equestria Daily way back where somebody was doing that in RPG Maker, but I never...
Yes, that was Story of the Blanks was made in RPG Maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. But there was another one which wasn't as grimdark as Story of the Blanks. I can't remember the name, but I think it may have just been abandoned, and that's unfortunate. That's another thing we're going to see. We'll see a lot of abandoned projects. I mean,
well, yeah, but everybody needs a break from fandom. I haven't made a big deal about it, but I've taken a break from MLP a couple of times in the last year and a half. But you always come back because that's where your heart lays. It's like, as frustrating as the fans are, the show is still entertaining. And I think a lot of people who abandon projects they'll get that itch and go back to them.
Well, a good example of that is Cricket Trees and Sweatshirt. Sweatshirt specifically, he's talked about leaving MLP for a while and even giving up his name, but you keep on seeing him push that back.
He's got the itch. I mean, I understand his frustration because it's like, okay, he came out with some really magnificent pieces really early on, right out of the chute. And so he got bugged by a lot of people. There's a lot of high expectations. It was a little too much too soon for him. And that's totally understandable. And he just like, I need to take a step back and get my head together. But because you still really love this show, it's really hard to walk away completely. It really boils down to, okay, I need a break from Pony-chan and EQD. It's like, okay, that's fine. But you don't need to abandon the fandom. You don't need to drop your projects or whatever. Just take a break, take a breather. We all need it.
Yeah, and I think what Sweatshirt's doing right now is really good, where he's taking a break from ponies and trying experimenting with other things. But he'll come back around, and I think now it'll be better for people like him and Crooked Trees to come back around, because now, even though they came out early on with really incredible things, there are so many other artists now that can kind of take most of the brunt, so they can come back in and not have to worry about being overwhelmed with.
Yeah, and this is a caution I would throw out to everybody. It's like, do not associate the fandom with specific people. It's like your fandom is the love of the show and the things surrounding the show, but it's like you don't have to attach it to any personalities or that need for celebrity. It's like just enjoy it as an overall. Not worrying about like, well, I'm so sick of this person or that person. Like, you don't have to deal with them. I mean, seriously, just there's plenty of places to go in the fandom. There's plenty of people to talk to, plenty of places to hang out, lots of stuff to see and do. I mean, hell, I screwed around the other day on the little castle creator on the Hasbro site. I mean, that's retarded fun, but it's fun. And it's like I didn't have to make a big deal about it. I can't even remember if I posted the piece I did or not. I think I put it up on my Tumblr. But that's what I'm talking about. It's like, there's plenty to do and see without you having to stress about stuff.
Yeah, and I did a similar thing last week with the whole Fluffy Pony green text.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I love the Fluffy Ponies so much.
And
they're so stupid.
And it's I'll just end on it on MLP and just spend a couple of days just going through some conversations and just talking with people about stuff. Doesn't have to be anything big or grand, and I don't necessarily need to put my name on it. I'm more interested in what people actually think about stuff.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, trying to stifle a yawn there. I'm not saying you're boring.
Oh no, it's almost 12:30 here too. I know what you guys must be going through.
Yeah, and actually, I gotta get. What time did I stop? Technically, I have to go back to work at 5, but I think I'm gonna push that back a couple hours. It's the life of a trucker.
Yeah.
So it happens. But yeah, I think this is a good point where we can wrap this up. So.
Yeah. Wow.
I think.
Wow. And here we have Lucky on the show.
Blithering.
Well, I'll certainly have my work cut out for me. I think we've run past the hour and a half mark, which we rarely do for this show.
Well,
and
we don't have a time limit, but mostly just.
Oh no! It's not the time limit. It's just the Bronieville just gave me a 3-hour file plus an episode.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll certainly have my work cut out for me. But this was excellent and informative, and I actually normally I'm the loudmouth here, but I just got to sit here and smoke for for an hour and look all pensive with my 4 or 5 bowls of pipe tobacco.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah, and to be honest, I was coming into this episode expecting you, Casey, and you, Ben, to do most of the talking. I wasn't expecting to do a whole lot of talking, but yeah,
that's fine. Sometimes someone needs
more than 5 words.
Sometimes someone just needs to shut me up, and I need to let them talk. So, fine thing.
Yeah, I'd say that was an incredible episode. I think that's a really good episode to come back on after having two stillborns. So
I still want to hear the fight one.
Sunday.
You should have told me about that, because now I'm going to obsess on it. It's like, who the hell was fighting?
And you'll never hear it. Aww.
You'll never hear the original, but there may come another fight episode. We'll see.
Like the microphone and yelling at cats, go bare knuckles.
Well, one day we'll just all get drunk and yell at each other a bunch of random shit, and we'll record it and we'll post it. And that's the episode.
Yeah. You'll see, I'll crack open my bottle of Johnny Walker and just become incredibly racist or something.
There you go.
All right, well, I think it's this is a good
Goddamn
point for us.
zebras moving into Ponyville, taking our jobs.
Fucking dirt walkers, fucking clout fuckers.
Well, the unicorns control everything, you know that.
Oh, jeez.
Have you guys caught on to this weird controversy? And then this is something I wanted to bring up earlier about, how the fandom kind of builds on itself. That everybody saw Twilight as just this sort of weird indigent college student. And maybe she's black, maybe she's not. And then now all of a sudden you're getting all of these weird hints. It's like, no, her family is well-to-do and well-placed within Canterlot society. The fact that her brother is getting ready to marry into royalty and that her family had the pull to get her into Celestia's, select little Montessori school, like, oh, yeah. There was a thread on this earlier that a lot of butthurt fans were complaining that's like, well, now that she's rich, I don't know if I can like her anymore.
Well,
like,
she's a boss.
She's the same character you've liked up to now. What does it matter if her family has money or not? Why is that even an issue?
She's the Kennedy. She's the Kennedy or the Kardashian that's normal. That is not like the rest. I can imagine the rest of her family being like the Kardashians, and she's like I can totally in my own head imagine her to be Daria.
I really hope her brother is a jackass. That'll be so satisfying.
I'm really hoping he's a total bro, frat house, Porky's douchebag. Nerds douchebag. He picks on that he picks on Twilight for being a nerd and goes and smashes a beer can on his head.
Exactly.
Or no, not a beer can, a Four Loko can. Got to update it a little bit.
Don't you need a cider stein?
Yeah. Shit, I can't think of a pony version of Four Loko.
No.
A Four cider. Four cider, I'll just go with that for right now. But anyway, we should probably wrap this up.
I think we said that like 4 times.
I think it's about time we gave our opening statements or our closing statements and stuck to them.
We're getting warmed up.
Oh yeah, we're start a show now.
Let's start with the plugs.
My cool thing for this week is King Cheetah.
Yeah. We have him right here. All right, I guess we'll plug King Cheetah. We just posted up his Tumblr, cathead232.tumblr.com, his DeviantArt, marmaladejane.deviantart.com.
And to clear up that confusion, Marmalade Jane is the studio badge. Half of the people on there think I'm a girl. They're like, no, Marmalade Jane is the name of the studio. That's what I do comics under, working with like Agodi Rex and Poinko. That's under Marmalade Jane. That's what that's all about.
All right, that helps clear it up. That's good. That's good. And yeah, you can find them there. And do you have a link to your eBay page? Because
the seller is Pious Knob.
Okay, yeah, we'll just I'll just put that, and then people can just search under sellers for that. Okay,
and you can tell I'm a sensitive artist because I draw Fluttershy with really large breasts. You know, the kind of shot girls always have.
I think pretty much everybody.
I don't want to, but that was established in fandom pretty early on, and I get complaints when I draw her petite. Like, oh no, she's supposed to have the biggest boobs of all. It's like, oh, who made up that rule? I don't agree with that at all.
Well, think about it. Would you rather her have a gigantic set of knockers or be a complete whore?
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like...
Why not both?
Because then she's Snooki.
Well, we had the short-lived Sluttershy. God, I can't remember which episode that spawned that, but this was sometime last year. She did something in an episode, and that spawned the phrase Sluttershy, and that got a lot of people butthurt.
Yeah. So actually, I just listed your eBay. Actually, I think I'll just direct link to your eBay thing, so that way they can just click on it and they can go buy shit from you.
The only pick up there right now is ironically a huge boobed Fluttershy. So I'll have 6 new pieces up tomorrow.
Awesome. So that should work. And then in Bullshit, you can find him at inbullshit.tumblr.com. You can find Lucky at lucky-nsfw.tumblr.com. And you can find me at mdefmech.com, and that just goes straight to my Tumblr. So
I'm there right now.
I'm wondering what I have reblogged on my stupid site right now. But anyway, I guess that wraps us up. King Cheetah, it was great having you on. It was really awesome having you.
It's nice being had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and definitely you are more than welcome to, in the future, come on.
Come on and hog up all the airtime?
By all means.
You're definitely somebody that is definitely interesting to listen to. Way more interesting to listen to than... So I think that works.
This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys had me.
Totally. So,
yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
And with that, I'm in Defmech.
I'm in Bullshit.
I'm Lucky.
I'm Chef Sandy.
And until the next... Do you want to say Lucky?
What?
You just made a noise. Okay.
I
Never
said
mind.
about the twist.
And until next episode, y'all can fuck off. Bye.
Oh.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.